don't mind tonight. Play per ego.
Depends. Will your friend, the footballer, be there?
Oh, friend, football friend. Oh, what a superb goal. Stefan Moore, that is extraordinary from Ben Garuccio.
And welcome back to another episode of Football Friends with Ben and Stef. And we've got Ben here, who's now a full-time vlogger. You're just copying me and you're trying to be cooler with your vlogs, apparently.
Yeah, well, there's not much going out there these days, so got to keep it coming on Instagram. And I've done 2 on the spin now, 2 wins in a row. So
Yeah, true.
I was saying to the boys, I said, we better win, or else this vlog's not seeing the light of day. So we got the job done in Wellington, and
Yeah.
out it goes.
And
Well,
and any comments from the boys? Any hate? Any love?
bit of love from the boys. The boys are actually on a bit of a content spin at the moment. We had TikTok come in last week, and a few of them have thought, you know what, it's time to start putting
What do
some
you mean
content out
TikTok
there.
coming in?
Like TikTok came out and did a presentation at the club about athletes and kind of how they can use TikTok to gain a bit of following. So a few of them are on the content train at the moment. So yeah, I'm not sure what the boss was thinking in the change room with everyone with their phones out taking videos.
Did they?
Well, like everyone's kind of got their phone now. Like when we first get there and just like taking a few clips and that. But this is the whole thing. Like there's no social media like team. There's obviously not the budget to fly the social media team. Like there's not photographers and videographers and stuff around. So if you don't kind of get your phone out
Do
and
it
take
yourself.
a few videos, then
Yeah.
you don't have anything. So clutching at straws.
It's hard, isn't it? Like I remember, obviously I've done it a little bit more. Even Adelaide, I did it a little bit, and game day is like the one where it's kind of like
You don't want to get your phone out.
yeah, because you want to be like, well, I'm focusing on the game, but it's also like, how hard is it when you jump off the bus to fucking film 3 seconds, or you get out onto the pitch, like you're chatting with people anyway, or you're changing a song, or like, so to film 3 seconds here, 3 seconds there, it's not that hard to do anyway, but you just think like, oh fuck, if the boss sees, and if I play a stinker, and then he's gonna say everyone's fucking too worried about taking a video. It's like that's not, but that's not why I played a stinker. Like it's not,
Yeah.
it's not that you're not locked in, but I do understand that. So it's like they're so chilled here. They would never say anything. But I feel like it would be much easier if you had a content person, literally, because you only need little snippets. If you had the budget for it to fly someone over, obviously as the team, and they just get a bit of everyone. And this is where I think clubs miss the mark massively, because if you, let's say, Sydney FC, they have, I don't know how many followers, 100,000, 200,000, whatever it is. It's great, but like they're getting it out to those people. But imagine you get 10 boys in the team all making their own video as well. You're now actually getting 10 separate videos tagging Sydney FC, and you're getting it from a different perspective. You're getting different audiences, you're getting different things. So like they should kind of buy into it a bit more, because it's the way the world is, and it's just a massive way that you can actually attract more people to the game if they like you as a person. And obviously everyone's got to have a different style. Yours is you want to be cool. You want it to be very looking professional, like your missus and whatever, where I'm fucking got no idea what I'm doing. So it's very raw. But that's what people want to see, maybe, like the different sides of it. AFL boys are doing it really well. I'm seeing so many of them popping up.
Yeah. The
doing
NFL,
it.
like some of the NFL ones are unbelievable. The basketball ones as well. The guys
Yeah.
like coming into the stadium, but it's all done professionally. So I suppose
That's the
you
thing,
try and
right?
just find the happy medium. For the home games, it's much better, because I just literally gave my phone to our social media guy and said, like, when you're out there,
class.
can you take some clips on my phone as well? So he did
Yeah.
that for me, and then I had Jazz in the stands, who's absolute content king or
Yeah.
queen. And she was getting a lot of clips for me. So that video turned out good. But yeah, at the end of the day, we won. That's the most important thing. And I get to post it.
And now you can say to Uffy, listen, if you have a stinker in this next game, and he says something, you can say, well, I did it the other 2 and you fucking didn't say anything. So
Well, I'll just say to him,
It's-
do you mind getting some clips like during the game, just while I'm just running past you?
Uffy, you're in the best position here. And if you can actually turn around on you as well. But yeah, it's people want to see that stuff. Like they want to be literally in the change rooms. They want to see what's going on. And it's like, this all or nothing stuff, like the Netflix fucking documentary. I think the AFL's got one that's just about to come out on Prime. Like people, some of it's fabricated. There is a little element of that, obviously, with those things, but this stuff here is like raw. Like people actually want to see. Like I'm sure there's people that watch mine from Australia and like, fucking hell, look at the stadiums that this guy's going into. Look at this. Look at the food they're eating. Like it's interesting. I love watching. I don't know, golfers or Premier League players or whatever. I'm like, fuck, that's cool. That's interesting. So anyway,
It's
we'll
the
see if
best.
it takes off. I think, yeah, it's good to see the boys are getting around you and not hammering you. And yeah, when you come here in the off season, the golf ones are going to be off the chain. They'll probably have to be YouTube format ones
They're going to
of
be, yeah,
you
we might have
shanking
to,
them.
of me just absolutely losing my head like I did today. How did you get on today? I know you've got the Titleist cap on there for people that are just listening and not watching. Steph's got
Yeah,
his Titleist cap. He's fresh off the golf course and he seems to
fresh.
be in a decent mood. So must have hit him all
Yeah.
right.
Well, I'd been literally, what is it, Tuesday? So we played last Tuesday, got back that night, like 2 a.m. in the morning, woke up the next day and was sick as a dog. And for 6 days, couldn't eat anything, was shitting my pants, literally. Just, I don't know I don't know if it was food poisoning. I don't know what it was. Ended up going to the hospital to get like some stuff because it was just not getting better. And so I hadn't hit a ball in 8, 9 days, and I thought I'll just quickly go there now before we record this. Had about an hour, few 3 woods off the track, man, hitting it well. Went straight out there, no practice session with the pitching wedge or the whatever I used, 56, 58, and straight away hit them perfect. And I thought, fuck, I'm on here.
From Tiger.
Yeah, literally second hole was stinking, but I hit them pretty well. It's just my putting now. Like I need to practice the putting because I can just see when you get out there, like if you're three putting it, like it just kills your whole score.
Yeah,
I want a par
kills your
three, so I
score.
get onto the green. I can get onto the green, obviously one shot, pretty simple, and that's no problem for me. I'm doing that relatively well. But man, if you can't putt, what is it? Drive. What is it? What's the saying? Drive,
Yeah, I don't know.
drive for show, putt for dough,
Yeah,
something like that. And I can see it. If you can't putt, fucking forget about it. So it's a tough game. It's a
it's a
tough
tough
game. But
game.
anyway,
It's a
should we
tough game.
should we
I
speak
was,
about football or should we get
yeah,
on to you?
maybe.
Because I know you don't really want to talk about how you went today. Normally your football performance, if that's good, the confidence leads into other things. But for you right now,
Well,
it's not correlating.
played last week during the week before the game, and I was genuinely thinking, do I call the club and tell them I'm retiring because I'm going on the PGA tour? And then played again today and thought, you know what? I'm actually just going to stick to football for a bit longer because I suck.
Yeah. One last thing. See that Jaden Hunt, the Demons West Coast, I think played for both. He's 30 years old and he's like declared he's retired and he's trying to get on the PGA tour.
Really?
Yeah, he was on the news last week. I saw it and he can't remember what he needs to get under. I think it's like three handicap to qualify for some tournament to go out there and qualify. And he's like 4.5 or something around those numbers. But it's pretty crazy. Like his swing looked all right. But imagine that if you could do that. I think Peter Odemwingie is a professional golfer as well. Do you remember him? Played for West
Yeah.
Brom.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like the coach here was telling me, like he said, they can get to that level, but they'll never even get close to winning anything.
No.
Just because it's like us. Like we've played our whole lives. Like if you're just
Yeah.
picking it up, you can't be that good at it. But anyway, it's maybe that pro tour thing we can have a crack at more than anything rather than fucking being on the PGA.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
So
Start an Aussie version of what the English boys did.
yeah, I saw they've actually got one for other athletes in Australia. They were just in New Zealand. I saw Ricky Ponting was there.
Yeah, Ponting was
Kelly
out. They were all there with
Slater.
Callaway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they've obviously got it. I'm not saying we're at the level of Kelly Slater and Ricky Ponting, but if we can play golf, that's fucking all right, and we're
Yeah,
professionals.
that's a
So
plus.
maybe we need to work towards that. You need to set some goals, and that can be life after footy for both of us. If one of us is a lot better than the other one just becomes the caddy.
Well,
So
let's talk some football. And if you guys, just quickly before we get into it, if you guys haven't seen our latest Born Into It episode with Richie Alagic. It was a great watch. It's been received quite well so far, and a lot of good nuggets in there for any, I suppose, parents that have maybe got kids playing or anyone that's really just interested in junior development. It was a really, really good chat. So check that out, guys, if you haven't already. But let's get into football. Let's quickly talk about you, Steph, because you didn't play in your game. You were too busy on the toilet. But
Well,
your boys
luckily
had
I was suspended anyway, so it was
Oh,
actually
yeah, you were.
yeah, it was perfect
It
timing.
worked
Perfect
perfect.
timing for that suspension. I didn't. Maybe my body just knew that I had the week off, and it just thought, you know what, just stay off the grass and just stay
Yeah.
in bed for the week. So
Put the
um,
handbrake on for the week.
yeah, we went 1-0 down, ended up coming back to win 3-1, and we had a few other results go our way. So we're doing pretty well. We're 7 points clear of Vietel now, who's in second. They beat Hanoi FC, Harry Kewell's team, 1-0. Ninh Binh lost to Nam Dinh, who they're the two brothers that own the team, and Ninh Binh's coach, they went 12 or 13 games undefeated. They've now lost 3 on the bounce, and he's been sacked. So that's how ruthless it is here. We're in a great position. If we can win these next 2 against Hanoi FC and Ninh Binh, not saying it's wrapped up completely, but you know we're going to be in a very, very strong position. So let's see how we go. We just need to keep winning, and against Harry Kewell this week will be it'll be a good. I'm excited for it. I know he'll want to win. They had the loss on the weekend, and yeah, it's kind of one of those ones. He's obviously not out there on the field, but definitely want to get one over him.
No golf this week?
No golf this week. I don't know if I should message him. I did message him already today because this is how crazy the algorithm is. A Harry Kewell a video popped up of like the Wizard of Oz, and it was someone with all these clips from when he was at Leeds. Fuck, man. Like, honestly,
What a
like
player.
Like, it was actually like ridiculous. And again, football was so different back then, but fuck, like, man, he was a joke. Like, he was actually a joke. If he was in today's world, what do you think he goes for? Like, from Leeds?
Oh, 80?
Yeah.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Everyone wanted him. Literally everyone wanted him. I remember the story he told us when we were at Melbourne Heart about the Champions League final, and that he wasn't really ready to play. I think he was coming back from an injury or he'd been sick, something. But Rafa Benitez was like, yeah, but I need to start you, because if they see your name on the team sheet, they're going to be thinking like, fuck, like he's back. And then he got dragged at halftime. But
he did his groin. I think he did his groin.
Oh,
the bone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
if you're at a club like Liverpool and the coach is saying that, like, you're a big dog.
Yeah. I think we were too young, because that would have been, what was that?
2004.
So we were 9 years old
Yeah.
at that stage. Like, we weren't really 8, 9 years old. We weren't really watching too much football. But like, man, just scary. Is that like, and football's changed. There's different, like, you know, there's a lot more African players, a lot more South Americans probably coming over to England, and just the whole world plays football now, where back then it was a little bit different. But I don't know how we developed those. Like, I don't know. I know they've probably looked into it and tried to figure it out, but like, how do we develop these players like a Harry Kewell, a Mark Viduka, like a Vinny Grant, like so many in that, like the top Premier League? Like, and if you look at it in these days, like that's like, you know, a $20 million player, 30, 40, 50, $100 million. Like it's fucking crazy. Imagine that now, like an A-League player getting sold and you're selling him for 15, 20 million, 30 million with a good buy-on clause. Like it's changing the landscape, and that's what I think the league's trying to get to. I don't know if we've got any in the pipeline that are that good, but yeah, fuck, what a player. What a player he was. But let's hope he has a stinker as a coach this week. Sorry, Harry, but we need the 3 points. So that's it for me. I didn't see your game because it was the first time I could kind of go out, and Orlando was pestering me to take him to the park, and I couldn't say no because I'd been saying it for 4 or 5 days in a row. Missed your game and see the highlights, and you popped up on the right wing doing a 1-2 with the other fullback Ryan Grant, and then putting it on a platter for Popovic, who turns around and gives it the big one. Doesn't even like give you much, but
Whoa.
some goal.
Yeah, he's the hero at the end of the day. That's why. And there was a one straight after it, and I probably could have cut it across, and I've just tried to shoot. I can hear everyone yelling at me. I'm thinking like, you get nothing for fucking setting up a goal. You can do everything, set up the goal, but the guy who taps it in at the end of the day, he's the hero. So nah, it was good. At the end of the day, assist for me, and like we speak about, there's some that are, you kind of get a little bit lucky and you don't put a great ball in, and someone, or you pass at 1 meter and someone scores an absolute worldie, and there's other ones that you do well. So that was good. I was back on the halfway line for a corner, and I've seen it kind of pop out, and I was like, I reckon I can get to this, and then it's just worked out perfectly, and Popper was there to tap it home. So main thing was we won, kept a clean sheet 2 weeks in a row. So yeah, we're not, scoring as many goals. I think probably the one negative to come out of the game is Joe going down with an injury that looked to be
what was it?
not great. I think it's his ankle. I'm just not sure how bad it is yet. So hoping that it's not going to be
He'll
too
be
bad. But
fucking cooking. If it's his ankle, you can't get on the golf course with that then.
yeah, no golf, no football. So he's going to be, yeah. I think I'm pretty sure his old man was like coming down as well to visit him, and they'd like obviously planned to play a bit of golf together. So I don't know what he's going to do now, because outside of those two things, he's as long as a wet week to hang out with that guy. So
Yeah, well, I don't. Yeah, maybe he's got to take up fucking. I don't know.
yeah,
Who
who
had
knows? Yeah, we'll see.
something? Yeah,
We'll see.
that's a stinker, a proper
Yeah.
stinker. But anyway,
Especially
good for.
because I've said it 100 times to him this year. We tipped you on the podcast to be the Johnny Warren medalist, and you're picking up injuries like this. Like
Yeah,
you're gonna make us look stupid, and that's the worst part about all of this.
I actually like since he's come back from his injury, he's not looked the same, and that's the thing when you have it like he was out for how many weeks? 6 weeks
Yeah,
with the first one.
yeah, even longer. Yeah, six,
Yeah,
7 weeks.
it's difficult to come back, especially in Australia where like it's so physically demanding the league, and now you're playing in summer when there's hot games. Like you're not as fresh. For him, he's explosive. He needs to be able to be fit to take players on. Like he just, and not in a bad way. He just hasn't looked the same as what he looked before that injury. So he was probably slowly getting back into it, and then to cop another injury is yeah disappointing. But obviously not for the Johnny Warren show. It's not like we put money on it, but yeah, we didn't. And Uli de Villa got no jail time. Came out.
Oh no, I didn't. That's just
Yeah,
a weird change of subject. How do you
yeah.
go from Joe Lolly to that?
Because I said we didn't put any money on it. Just letting everyone out there know we didn't. Promise. But De Villa didn't get any jail time. But Joe Lolly, yeah, he needs to get his body right now for finals time, because
Yeah.
yeah, that's probably now the most important thing. There's not a lot of games left. Wellington, what did you feel? Obviously, change of coach. Normally, there's that little bit of a buzz within the players. You want to impress. Did you feel like there was a bit of fight in them? There was a bit of change, or did you hear any kind of talk out there? Do they, I don't want you to kind of rap on the players, but what was it
Mm.
like?
No, I think there was like, look, it's always going to be a little bit different when you get a new coach. That's what our boss was saying to us all week. Like, if you give them kind of an inch, they'll take a mile. They're going to be up and about, and they'll start to get confidence. But if you can nullify that and score early, which we didn't, then they kind of just revert back to
Yeah,
kind of what's happened all year, and they start to put their heads down, and people are maybe complaining. But I think the whole thing is like, and we speak about this all the time, but the fact that there's no relegation, like it's like, they're playing these last
yeah,
games, but who knows what's happening at training, if players have like kind of checked out, if players are just, maybe being a cancer in the change room and things like that.
mm,
So I think there definitely was a little bit of a bounce back, but then they end up losing the game in the end at home, and the crowd was like probably one of the emptiest I've ever seen it there. So yeah, it's not great for him. We'll see.
yeah,
We'll see what happens for the rest of the season. Like, if they actually can string some performances together, because when they played us at home, we got the red card early, but they were really good. And then that game on the weekend felt completely different. It felt like they've just had the life sucked
yeah.
out of them. So we'll see.
Yeah, no, it's a interesting case. There's probably a few players that are fighting for a World Cup spot for New Zealand. So you'd think there would be, a few of those that are really driving it and being like, well, I need to play well to get into this World Cup squad. But then you've probably got a few others, whether it's the Aussie boys, whether it's the foreigners that are like, this is stinking. Like it's the
Yeah,
motivation, and it's not that you're trying to not try, but it's just the way it works. And without that relegation, if you come last, you come last. Nothing really
yeah,
changes. Like literally, and now you don't have a coach, it's a caretaker, so you don't even know who's there for next season. It's just, yeah, it's a really, really bad situation, and obviously the crowds have been dwindling, but even more so now. If you're a fan, you're like, well, why am I coming? Why am I paying money to come and watch this? Um, so very, yeah, it's disappointing for the league because you don't want that. But then I guess at the other end of the table, the Jets finally have been stopped. They didn't even score, and it was a draw against the Mariners. It was actually a pretty entertaining game. I watched most of this. I don't know if you saw the offside goal.
mm. It's a hard one, isn't it?
Like letter of the law. Like yes, I understand it, but like do you think if you were a player of Central Coast, you would have been complaining about that if you saw that?
Yeah. Well, did they complain straight away?
I don't think
Like,
so,
were
but
they
I could
putting their
be
hand
wrong.
up? Like, because, yeah, I didn't even think offside. Like, when the goal was being checked, I'm like, what could this possibly being checked for? Like, he's dribbled and then he's cut the ball
Yeah,
back. It's obviously not offside or anything. And then you
yeah,
see it and it's like, he is clearly offside. He does clearly run, like, he's right in the line of where the defender is. I just don't know if the defender's going to get there. But then because you take that chance away from him to actually get there, then you just don't know.
yeah,
And then it's like, well, now what do we do? Do we leave it because maybe he wasn't going to get there? Or then you kind of do have to go by the letter of the law, which I think
yeah,
is really harsh. It's really, really harsh. It was a nice goal. That Clayton Taylor's like, he's so unpredictable, like the way he dribbles and he's
mm,
very quick off the mark. He's done like unreal, and then yeah, it's unlucky. It was a great finish as well by
yeah,
Adams,
yeah.
like
Adams, yeah,
unbelievable goal.
rifled it, and that's I don't know. I just don't like the. I just think for me that technically is allowing the referee to re-referee it. He doesn't have all the angles. He can't see everything. Was he obstructed? Yeah, he was potentially obstructed, but you don't know if he was going to get to the ball. I don't think if that got given, like for me as a player, I'm just thinking about it. Like if I was playing and we were on the receiving end of that, I don't think I would be saying that's bullshit. Should have been offside. He would have got. I just think you know what? Fuck. Like how many times does that happen in a game potentially where someone's offside and they maybe block someone? If you're going to go through and look at all these little instances, like you're just searching for stuff when it should have been the first goal when it could have opened the game up and there could have been more. Um, but anyway, is what it is. The Mariners are pushing hard for that final spot, and they had a few chances themselves on the counter in the last
Yeah,
like probably I think it was maybe 60 to 80 minutes. They had the better of it, I thought it was. Um, that Ollie Laval, he looks really good. Like he
yeah,
seems
yeah.
like
He's been
the stint away in the championship with South Melbourne was really good for him just to get games in, and he
yeah.
looks because I
He
didn't not in a
wasn't he
bad
wasn't
way. I didn't.
starting. Yeah,
He
he
wasn't
wasn't
starting
starting
what
all like not all of the games. Like
really.
he wasn't starting all of the games for South Melbourne, and he wasn't like
Sure.
there was a couple of games where he came off at half time or got an early sub.
Interesting.
So it's not like he did score a few goals in that run, but it's not like he was talisman playing every single minute of every single game. But obviously the Mariners have seen something, and he's come in and like he just
Mm,
looks like he's full of confidence now. And it's funny like what
yeah.
a change of environment. I think he's like as a player, he works so hard. He's got such a good attitude and always works for the team. I think that's a massive thing. I think they've probably seen that in him and kind of
Mm.
just let him run with that because I think he's
He's
very much
quite
a
young,
player. If
yeah.
you just yeah, he's young. He's young. He doesn't have too much experience. So for me, like I thought he always had his best games at Western when it wasn't so much about tactical instructions, just literally getting him to do what he's good at, which is working hard, pressing, running after balls, fighting, and then after that you get your goals. So he got a few goals for Western, but he just looks like this environment's just suiting him perfectly. He's obviously playing with a lot of confidence, so really happy for him.
Yeah. And like not saying he's not an intelligent player or anything like that. I don't know him, but it's funny, some players obviously are better in a system where it's more structured and they can kind of play in that system where other players just need to be able to go out there and play freely, and
Yeah,
play off instinct a little bit more. And yeah, he seems like he's doing really well. They've picked up, some good players from the Oz Championship. That Ali Ugla,
he's
is
looked
it
really good.
O'Donnell, I think, a midfielder. I think he was from the Championship. Um, so yeah, they've recruited the Japanese boy they got as well. Like Central Coast, I think. They played MacArthur tomorrow. By the time this is coming out, it'll be tonight. And like, if they win that game, they're probably gonna. I'm not gonna say they're gonna make the six, but like, it's insane to think that they can actually be jumping into the six
It's just
when,
insane to think that they could be like there were people they would be in that conversation before Melbourne City and Western Sydney. I think if you
yeah,
said that at the start of the season, people would have been like, "What are you talking about?"
even
City
6 weeks
will,
ago, 7 weeks ago.
yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy.
So yeah, they're doing really well, and I think Mark Jackson, obviously left right before the season started, which was another one which was kind of like it's a write off. Obviously, they've had the ownership staff, but it seems like the playing group has really come together, and yeah, we'll see what plays out between now and the end of the year. But that sixth spot, I'll probably say even Victory are bordering on it, but I think Victory will make it. But I think that sixth spot is really, it's down to anyone from MacArthur down to Wellington. Technically, can still make it. But I think Central Coast are looking the most likely at the moment, just based on their recent form and just their fight and their willingness to kind of, yeah, keep going in matches. And we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But Melbourne City, on the other end, flying in Asia, and they would have played last night, I'm pretty sure. Tuesday night tonight is when we're recording this, that they're playing against Buriram. That Asian success, I don't know if that's playing a factor in it, but they just look way off it in the league, don't they?
Yeah, yeah, that was that game was crazy to be honest, and Auckland never looked like losing that game. Like just didn't look like Melbourne City were ever really in the game, to be honest. And yeah, it's just strange. Like I think at the start of the season, I think anyone would have really said like Melbourne City will be a good chance to go back to back. Like for me, they're young players that did so well last year, are all a year older. Yeah, they lost some players, but I think they recruited quite well. And then now in January, they've bolstered again. So yeah, I think a few weeks ago we were sitting here going like, "Fuck, they're going to be a dangerous team going into the end of the season." I think since then they've fallen off the cliff harder than before.
Yeah. Yeah, like lost the derby, uh, smashed by Auckland. Um, just yeah, just not looking good. Yeah, I don't even know what it is, because you look at the squad like that they've got, like you said, that they've recruited now, the players that they had out there against Auckland, and it's a good team. But for whatever reason, it's not working. The one player I like a lot is that Eunice. Like
Yeah,
he's good. He's a good
yeah,
player. Like I hope he goes back overseas. I think he's just on loan, but I hope he goes back over and really has a proper crack, because I think maybe his final ball and certain things maybe he can improve on, but like his physical attributes are really, really good, and he's direct, and if he can take the confidence of what it seems like he's got here over there, there's no reason why he can't have a very good career. But yeah, I still think they can make finals, because if they go on a bit of a run, they've got the players to do it. But it's going to get harder and harder with these. The trip next week, they've got to go to Buriram. It's a long trip. You've got to play the game, and it'll be humid conditions, and you've got to fly back. So, the more success they have in Asia, the harder it will be. But probably right now, like they're not going to get top spot, so they're not going to get the ACL again next season. You'd almost sacrifice the league if they can keep winning in the ACL to keep having that, the prize money and the success, the ranking points and stuff like that. So interesting to see how they go against Buriram. I don't know if they'll be good enough to beat them. I know they did at home, but over two legs, it'll be quite interesting.
yeah. It's funny though, like because I was speaking to a couple of the boys when we were watching that game, And a lot of them were like, yeah, but you don't understand how hard it is. Like, we went through that last season and like, it's just so much harder than you think. But then it's like, well, but they're doing well in Asia. Like, I get
Yeah.
it to say like, it's hard. Yeah, you get tired and everything. But it's like, well, how can one be like you're playing well against arguably stronger opposition? And in
Mm.
the league, in games where you're, expected to win, you can't. So, yeah, I mean, maybe it is one of those things in the back of your mind that you're maybe slightly
We were
more
just doing
on for
it.
those games. Yeah,
Like,
you're
it is a bit
traveling
easy.
probably shorter.
Yeah, it is a bit less. Like, don't get me wrong, like, it is a bit less. But, like, it's also, we've got to flip it to the other side, right? So when teams have got to come to Australia, it's much more difficult.
Yeah,
They've got to fly a lot further. And some of them, like Buriram, are flying business class. So that helps. Um, but I just think, you know what? Like, if you're winning, like, as a player, there's nothing better. You win a
yeah,
game, you fly back, you're buzzing. Like, when you win a game, that feeling the next day is like, it's the best feeling. Like the next day, straight after the game, the next day, you go into training, everything's fucking good. You recover, your body feels better. So if you're winning in Asia, you should actually be going into the league almost like, fuck yeah, like we've just won, we're feeling good, let's win again. Like, and you don't have to train as much. Nobody likes training compared to playing games. So I think that's a little bit of a cop out. Like, I understand, physically it is a bit draining, but it's also one of those ones that, you maybe it's, yeah, like you said, a mentality thing of like, you're not as up for those games because an Asian game with the prize money potentially that gets you up a little bit more, opposition, different styles. We'll see.
I think
We'll see. Yeah.
the squad sizes here hurt us for sure. I
Yeah.
think the lack of depth. But then it's like on the other flip side again. Then when you're losing these games in Australia, or you're not playing well, then it's like you're going into these games, you're like, fucking hell, like we're
Yeah.
struggling against Aussie teams, and now we got to go and match it with like these teams that have got such a bigger budget than us. So I'd
Mm.
imagine that plays a part as well. I don't know, it's hard, but you got
Yeah.
obviously MacArthur as well, who have just been knocked out as well, and then
Yeah.
they get absolutely hammered. And like, yeah, they're another team, like they're playing in Asia, not anymore, but they have been, and maybe they're now feeling the effects of it because they're another team that's kind of they were up there,
Yeah.
like they were right up there, and now they're falling off the face of the cliff as well.
I think it is I think it is the element of Australian players, a lot of players in the A-League potentially have never played in leagues where we play more games, right? So if you've only ever played in Australia or when you've gone overseas you haven't played a lot of games, when you get into these Asian competitions, like you're not used to it. So that's probably more so what it is as well. Like maybe you can't recover or you can't physically handle it or you've never done it before. Like it's here, like in Vietnam, for example, like our squad, yeah, we do have a bigger squad, but we played the same players. The only difference was we had three more foreigners, so we changed three players, for example. But we were playing Shopee Cup, so an extra 6 games, the Champions League games. So like we were playing fucking midweek almost every week. Like it was a joke at one point. And we were doing it with the same squad. Yeah, we had a few injuries here or there, but these players here, because of playing a lot of games for a long period of time when they were younger, they were able to do it. Where Australian players, like we go from playing in, these youth academies, where you play maybe 20 games in the year, to the youth league for us when we were younger, where you played even less games, to the A League where you play maximum 26 to 30 games. I think you're just not up to it physically because of that, and that's just the difference from here to Europe, where kids in Europe and other parts in Asia, they're playing 50, 60 games a year, from young
Yeah,
ages. So your body can just do it and you just mentally can do it. I think that maybe is a bit of it, but yeah, we'll probably never know. But the good thing is for City with the ranking points that they're getting, it looks like they could jump China for not next season's Champions League, but the one after with a win in one of the legs. So if they can do that, that's a big thing because just the positive in the prize money. I think what have they got, 2 million guaranteed already, roughly. So if we can get two teams in the Champions League elite and one team in the ACL two, it's good. It's good for the country to improve on this, so we keep getting that exposure to Asia anyway.
yeah, no, it's huge. What did you make, Steph, of the original rivalry? your Reds?
Probably a bit of a letdown of a game, I thought.
Yeah,
Like, I was expecting it to be better. I think, like, Adelaide dominated a large part of it, but Victory didn't really press Adelaide. And, like, it wasn't actually that fiery. It wasn't really end to end. It was very, yeah, it was very just Victory were happy to let Adelaide have the ball. Adelaide were very calm and composed with it. They didn't create too many chances, but Lucas obviously had the absolute howler and missed that open goal. But besides that, like Adelaide didn't really create a whole lot, and Victory looked to just almost soak up the pressure and counter them. And when they won the ball, that like the styles were so opposite. Adelaide build up, wait for the spaces to open up, where Victory will get the ball. Can they get forward in 2 or 3 passes with the threats they had? I thought the strangest thing was Jelacic coming off. He was the best player on the park. I don't know why he came off. I felt like when he came off, like Adelaide actually got more momentum back. But both of those teams, I think, will make finals, and Adelaide are probably pushing for that top 2. Victory, I think, won't be able to win enough games to get that top 2, but they should be okay to make the top 6. Did you have a chance to watch that?
yeah, we watched that one. We went to
Yeah.
Wellington 2 days early, so we got to see all of the games. I have just another assist from Mata, which is crazy because this is he's chopped in like a great finish, and Mata obviously is the one that gives him the ball, which
And it
just
wasn't
seems to be
actually a
the
good
same
ball.
thing. Well, it just
Wasn't
seems to be the same thing though, over and over
Kikiana
again.
should have intercepted it, but he's just kind of got in an awkward position. But yeah, assist isn't like your assist and his assist is the exact same statistic.
Yeah,
Even like it's just funny, like what we said about it. But yeah, he's getting them out, getting them
he's
every
flying.
week, regardless of
He's
whether
he's
like
stat padding.
yeah, he's obviously got himself in fantasy.
That's quality.
So,
and
but
Yaya's goal was top as well. To be fair, like what a finish.
yeah,
on the right peg.
He spoke about it in the post match interview that his right foot's better than his left with finishing. I think he scored more right footed goals, and it's true. Like I always used to say to him, to shoot more. Like he's on both feet. Like he needs to be more goal hungry. Like he's a winger that loves to take players on, and I love him because he crosses the ball and cuts it back. So when I was playing, it was great. But like, just be more direct. Like I know it's sometimes annoying if you take the player on and you shoot and you miss, but like if you do that, I'm sure for you as a fullback, you would hate that. If you know he's coming at you, then he can go left or right and he's shooting, you're like, fuck, I gotta stop this guy because I can't let him get a shot away. And then if you do that enough, like then you got to dive in to block the shot, and then maybe you can chop him. It's easier said than done. Not that I could do it, but he's got the full bag of tricks, and I think this has definitely been his breakout season. He's definitely one of Adelaide's best. And I think Adelaide just keep on producing good. Like not saying that he hasn't come through before, but just the talent that's coming through there consistently is pretty crazy.
Yeah. No, it's unbelievable. It's just it's a shame when we were coming through that AUFC they didn't want us. So
it's crazy. Like if we did a like state of origin, I think we would win South Australia.
Yeah, South Australia would be they'd be good.
Like
That'd
if
be
we
good.
took our best South Australian players, that would be a sick thing to do. Like I know the AFL has just done that. But imagine state of origin.
Line it up with our golf tournament.
Yeah, fuck, that would be unbelievable. Like, think about the best Aussies. Like, how many South Aussies are overseas? Like, you got Cassini, Yengi, Tete Yengi, Awa, Nesta, Mo Toure,
Paul Izzo,
Riley McGree, Joe Gauchi.
We wouldn't even get a game.
We've got a good team.
I don't know. We wouldn't even get a game. I don't know what we're talking about.
Yeah, but we've got a lot of good forwards. Like, you got Riley in midfield. Fuck, we need to do this, actually. State of origin, best South Australians currently playing, and choose the team. That would actually be
Craig Goodwin.
Craig Goodwin.
He's obviously back now, but still.
Yeah, he's back. Barello.
If
you can claim Barello, I'm not sure if he'll choose Queensland
I think you can claim
or South
Barello.
Australia.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. It's a good team.
There's a lot of good ones. There's a lot of good ones.
Is there any others in the A-League from South Australia? That's Popovich, obviously, is with you guys. You got yourself
Yeah.
at Sydney. I don't know if there's many others.
Mark Marino at
Louis
Campbelltown.
Louis Dorigo at Victory.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck, it would
There's a lot.
it'd be a good squad. Like it'd be a very good,
Oh,
very, very good squad.
we've missed Al Hassan Toure, Mo Toure.
Yeah, Al Hassan. No, I said Mo, but yeah,
Oh, did you?
Al
Sorry.
Musa Toure,
Yeah.
Toure. And it's a good that Arif Piol, the one that's in the MLS.
Yeah. Come on, the
Bovalina.
Adelaide boys.
Fuck man, we're flying. I think we'd win it.
Flying.
Like
Yeah.
Socceroos. How many Socceroos boys?
I just think like there's in New South Wales though it's crazy because New South Wales is absolutely massive. There's just so many of them.
Of course. But let's do it. Let's do an end of season tournament. We'll get all the boys together. Probably not this year because there's that FIFA World Cup thing's on. So I don't reckon people will be available. But maybe the year after we can do it, and we'll have it at Cooper's. We'll do a round robin or a group stage.
That'd be class.
Group stage. We'll sell it out. We can take all the money, the proceeds, go straight to us.
Straight to the Football Friends podcast.
Straight to the Football Friends podcast. So, yeah, let's see how we go. But anyway, that's enough of that. That was not planned. That just kind of came off the cuff. Speaking of, I guess, doing well when, national teams and having tournaments, the Asian Cup started. Matildas 1-0 against the Philippines. What did you watch that one, or you were maybe flying back, or was that? No, you wouldn't have been flying back. Did you see it?
I didn't.
Or not?
I didn't see it. I saw the highlights.
Yeah.
Well, did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. It was
Do you think it
the
was just
one thing-
nervy more than anything?
I don't know. Like, obviously, it's difficult. You're playing against a team that's just defending essentially. They weren't trying to time waste. I didn't feel like the Philippines. Also, weird that the Philippines team seemed like majority of the players obviously not proper, born and bred in Philippines.
From
But
Philippines,
fair, yeah, fair enough. You can naturalize players, but I just felt like I don't know. They should have been better. Like that first game. Again, I'm not trying to be too critical on them because it's the first game and they won and that's all that matters. But I probably didn't like that. Like the commentary around them wasn't harsh. Like not harsh as in like smashing them, but just being a little bit like, why didn't we look to attack them, or why didn't we find solutions to break down this low block? Because you come up against maybe some better teams that are in shape and can catch you on the counter. 1-0 is not enough.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I thought they should have been a little bit more brave and take more chances, because besides the goal, like there wasn't really much creativity out there, and of course, like the players are so good.
Yeah. No, you're right.
So
What about the crowd? Good crowd?
I think so. Like I think it's just like hard when you've gone from like they were selling out friendly games against who was like Uzbekistan and whoever it was, like in record time. So to now not sell it out is probably not ideal, because of like, they were the hottest ticket in town. So it's probably died off a little bit.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe results. They haven't had as many good results. I don't know. Besides that, like I think the World Cup obviously was the thing that really captivated, and I think it was just the talk of the town for everything. And maybe just like football in this country, like Football Australia, the A-Leagues with the women's, they just haven't been able to actually they haven't spent the money to keep the hype going. So people probably just didn't know the game was on as much. They've lost a little bit of interest in it. But I think as the tournament progresses, it will pick
build
up. Yeah, like
It's
I think
always
it'll
the
be
same.
interesting to see. They play Gold Coast next. It'll be interesting to see what the crowd is there. Like that's a much smaller stadium. I'm assuming that's going to be sold out, and then Stadium Australia. So see how those two games are. But yeah, it is a little disappointing because of the hype that had been there previously, but still 44,000, like it's fucking a big
Yeah.
crowd, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, 2006 Asian Cup in Adelaide had a tournament total of just under 30K. So when you look at how far they've come, I
Yeah.
think it's just where they've been in the very recent past that everyone's like, oh, like is that it? 44,000.
Yeah.
But in the grand scheme of women's football and how far it has come, like it's huge.
Yeah, and it was in Perth as well. Like not like Perth's a smaller city. If it's in Melbourne or Sydney, maybe it's a bit different. Yeah, who knows? Who knows the reasons why? There's plenty of reasons, I'm sure. But yeah, let's see how they go because it's I think it's a tournament they should be winning on home soil. Japan's probably the other big favourite. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they go, and even the other games will be interesting to see with the crowds. Like I think it'll be interesting to see. Like the World Cup was just so crazy. Like who was it? Colombia and someone on a Tuesday or a Monday in Sydney, and they got 30,000. Like I think the difference is like that was a World Cup. The World Cup is so
the
big
quality,
compared to an Asian Cup. Yeah, it
like
just different.
China and Bangladesh, Vietnam versus India. Like you look at some of the games, it's like maybe later on, like the later stages, but I just think maybe some of the quality as well. It's like people are like, am I really going to go?
And like FIFA, think about the money FIFA will put into the World Cup versus what the AFC were going to put into the Asian Cup. Like it's just
AFC can't even get their lineups right for an ACL2 game between Kong and Hanoi.
Yeah, exactly. So they've got plenty on their plate. But then moving on to some comments made. I'm not sure if you saw it or heard it, but you had obviously the rugby league game was in Las Vegas, which I'm sure the players are absolutely buzzing about the teams that get to go over there and play that one. I'm not sure if it's going to grow the sport at all. I don't really know. I don't really care either. But it's just so funny to see like they come out and say that they're the biggest sport, they're the most viewed, participated, attended, and then the AFL come out. I think someone last night on the AFL 360 was saying, it's funny, he's just flatly lied about this because we're the most participated, viewed, and attended. And it's just like, well, now you've just fucking lied because football has just come out with their like participation rates, and neither one of those two are even close to football with 1.9 million. So it's just such a pissing contest between those two. And I like AFL, and I'm sure you're the same. But fuck, like I would love for football to just get their shit together so we can just squash these guys because they're just so arrogant and think like their sport is the only sport that exists and they're the number one, and it's just so far from the truth.
Well, I think the hardest part is that they are the biggest sport in the country. And that's why they're like that. It grinds my gears as well, but they're also just so far ahead of us that it's almost like not even a competition. Like, it's like grand final day for the footy. And like, don't get me wrong, like it absolutely burns me. Like when it's A-League grand final and like, if you don't support football, you wouldn't even fucking know. It's just another day. Whereas if it's AFL grand final, even the people that don't care about footy, they're like, oh, it's AFL grand final. Oh, it's an excuse. I'll go to the pub. Like they couldn't care less about what's happening, but it's just AFL grand final day. Like, and that, I think that those things there just go to show like the stature of the sport and where they're at. And it frustrates the life out of me. Like this is the world game and we're playing second fiddle to a game and I'm the same. I like footy, but it does burn me. I just wish football was where it should be here.
Yeah. And I don't care if we're the most viewed and the most attended, and the crowds that AFL get, and even like the TV rights deals for both of those is actually ridiculous. And but like fair play, they're so well governed, they're so well run from literally the top down. There's still shit that goes wrong, I'm sure, but at the end of the day, like they are so good at what they do. But just coming up with comments like that, and then you hear stuff, that they're always trying to squash football, and like they come out like the Olympics is obviously coming up, and Andrew Dillon's come out and said something about that wants the AFL to feature at the Olympics, whether it's a promo game or something. Like it's a fucking Olympics. Let the Olympians, the people that train for 4 years to qualify for this, like let them be the stars of this show. Why do we need to show AFL to the world? Like nobody actually gives a fuck. You've tried to take it to New Zealand, you've tried to take it to China, you're now apparently trying to take it to India. Nobody cares. Like it's not going to grow there because it's not viewed as the world game where people want to do it. Yeah. Like it's just it's in Australia, it's unbelievable, but just fucking be happy with what it is. And that's what annoys me, that they've got the money to do this side of stuff. And even, did you see what Port are doing? Like, apparently they bought up like 20 to 30 houses in the Port Adelaide area, and they're going to build like kind of like a little suburb around Alberton there. And I'm like, fuck, like that's smart. That's so smart. Like now
Yeah,
they've
of
got other
course.
sources of revenue. Like, I'm not knocking them for that. I'm like, why? Like, that's the vision that they've got versus what we've got in house, where we're fucking worried about the next dollar. It's just, yeah, it's just frustrating. So
It's all money.
I don't know.
It's all money
Yeah,
at the
yeah,
end of the day. Like like you can be as smart as you want, but if you don't have the funds, then it's like, well,
yeah,
I wish we could do this.
exactly. So we need to, yeah. That's the only thing that, honestly, if I want to get into anything after football, if I don't get into coaching or something, the only reason why I'd want to get into like the administrative side and football side of things is to try and hopefully like help the game. But I'm sure there's so many people that had the same kind of thought process as us, and now they're just
Yeah.
like, you know what, my head's so sore from banging it against this brick wall and nothing changing. So it'll be interesting to see. Like, there's so many things to play out. Obviously, with that, there's so many problems with the game. Um, but that's something that we're not going to fix right now. One thing that I did want to talk about is an article on Football 360. Antonio Arena, for those that don't know him, a young Australian who's actually representing Italy at youth level. He scored with his first goal for AS Roma, and that's probably where the headlines and people have maybe heard his name. But he started out as a youngster in the west of Sydney. He moved overseas. I think he was through a bit of a scouting thing. Anthony Uchinho, had some scouts from Italy potentially come out, or they were just here, and he got some players to go out, and he did well, and he went over to Pescara, killed it in 20 minutes, scored 3 goals against the under-15s when he was playing for the 14s, and he signed for them, a third division Italian club. What I guess I want to get your take on is, like, do you wish you went overseas as a younger player? Do you think that's the right move? Do you think everyone's situation's different? Like, because what's worked for him now is unbelievable.
Yeah. But then you go back like to when we were that age or slightly older, let's say 16, 17, 18, that kind of those years. And you're playing in junior national teams and you're going to the camps and like these guys are coming in from Portsmouth and Liverpool and here, and you're like, oh fuck, like these guys must be good players. And then you're looking, you're like, well, they're not really that much better. And some were really good, but
Mm.
others were like, oh, like, yeah, like he's a good player, but he's nothing crazy. I don't think he's too much better than me. And then you see a few years later, and then if they don't actually break through over there and start playing first team football, then some of them end up coming back and not even getting A-League gigs, and then
Mm.
they're out of the game. So it's like, for one success story, how many failures are there? Don't get me wrong, like, and if you're asking for my take, I think the ceiling, if you do go over, especially at a young age, is so much higher. Because if you are the one that breaks through, then you can't even compare compared to then going through the A-League, having to break into the team here. They're not playing young players. What's going on? I don't get a chance. And then by the time you know it, you're 23. And by that age, you're too old. Like you might still go and have a great career. You might get a move and you might, play at a good level. But the chance that you've got there, if you just do half decent at the age of 16 or 17, you're going to a big club straight away. And if you're not going to a big club, you're going to a middle club, but you're playing. And once you're playing over there, your next move from there, you're getting bought for 10, 20 million. So,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, what's your
Yeah.
take on it?
Well, I think what the interesting thing is in this Anthony Eugenio, hopefully I've pronounced his name correctly, and I've got no idea about him just from reading this article, and he's the one that helped facilitate it, and he wants to keep bringing more kids over there and doing tours and stuff, and I think he wants to find, the next Antonio Arena, and he speaks about it, and he says, like, and this is an interesting take because remember Paul Reed came to us at the AIS and said, the first move you make overseas is normally the highest level you play at. That was the statistic that they had for Australians. So it was kind of like, aim really high and then, you can always fall down. But this guy almost is talking a little bit differently. And that's why he took him to, Pescara, who are in the third division, Serie C. and saying it's better to start here and then you can work your way up. And again, every story is different, um, but it's probably not a bad way to do it because, maybe the levels are a little bit easier. And he went from playing, with the 15s or 16s there to the reserves to the first team very, very quickly. And the first team coach really liked him and brought him up. And then he started playing senior football at a young age and then got bought by AS Roma. And he spoke about his mentality and he said how many young kids would be able to go over here and, you sell them the dream, let's say, of signing for a Lazio, like a Chris Economides or a Volpato that was at Roma straight away, or these other players that were at the bigger clubs. That's, I'm the man, I'm at this big club, it sounds good, it looks good on paper, but you go to a third division, how many would actually sign that contract? And he's the one that did it. And the mentality of this kid apparently has always been really good. He's always doing the one percenters. He's hardworking, and I think in the article it says, you got to go over there and you've got to eat a bit of shit. You've got to understand that this is the way the world works. You not everything's going to be easy. You've got to fucking start at the bottom. Football's bullshit. Sometimes there's politics involved. There's other things involved. But if you can't handle that, then you're not going to be able to hack it over here. And I think that's probably not a bad way to do it, going to those lower teams, because if you do have the quality, you shine through a bit more. The teams will then probably give you a little bit more respect quickly, and they'll obviously see, okay, we can sell this kid. So again, there's no right or wrong way because every kid's going to have a different pathway. And I'm sure at the same time, if he got an offer from AS Roma back then or Pescara, he probably would have maybe went to Roma. But I just think it's an interesting take, and I think the more opportunities and the more connections we can have as Australians to these overseas clubs. You need to have a European passport to actually be able to go there. You can't sign it if you're under 18. But the more people that do, I think the better it is for the national team. The only disappointing thing is that, Antonio Arena at the moment is playing for Italy. And I find that's a little bit strange how this is like happening, because I don't know what you would do in that situation being Italian, but me, I love Germany. I don't think I would play for Germany over Australia if that choice was there. Like, I just think I'm Australian. Even if I moved at 14 or 15, Australia are the one that developed me. I grew up in Australia. I would want to play for Australia. Maybe he will turn around and play for it.
Mark Viduka is the biggest one. Like I feel like he's more Croatian than we are, German or Italian or whatever. And he played for Australia.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I agree. Like, they're my roots. My roots are Italian, but I can't even fucking speak the language. I've got a passport. I can understand it. I can't even talk it. Like, I'm going to go over there because it's a better national team to play for. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know these guys. Like, I don't know Volpato. I don't know Arena. Like, maybe. Like, my parents are a second generation Italian. Like, my dad was born in Australia. Like, I feel like I'm much more Australian than I am Italian. Whereas maybe their parents just moved over. Maybe they actually did spend a little bit of time over in Italy. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah. No,
I don't want to speak out of school, but
of course not.
I feel like for my personal situation, I would definitely rather play for Australia. And you know what? I haven't even played for him, so there's no chance I'm playing for Italy.
Yeah, no, it's easy for us to say right now, and it's not a blight on the player themselves. It's just like, for me, that's someone that he should potentially be in this World Cup squad. Maybe they are. Ocon and Popovic are over there. They're trying to get Volpato, I think, to commit to the country, or they're having discussions. I think Alex Robertson's committed to Australia. I think this is like, you look at the player like this, and that's like, you know what? I'm not saying he's going to be starting for the country, but, we've been lacking number 9s for a long time. It's the perfect player. He's young, he's hungry by the sounds of it. This is a beautiful opportunity for you to play for a country. You're not going to be playing for the Italian national team anytime soon, like the first team, and they're not even qualifying for World Cups recently anyway. But it's just an interesting story, and I think it's so hard to know now with the differences. I think up until that 14, 15, you can stay in Australia, but I reckon that that age there, 14, 15, I think that's where we really suffered, from 14, 15 to 18. We didn't get enough games in. We hardly played. We just played a bit of youth league. We played, the odd, minutes off the bench in the A-League, the odd start here or there, but our combined minutes over those 3-4 years would have been so little compared to what, let's say what Antonio would have got from one season probably in Italy. And that's where I think we lack that development. And now it's different. The teams are in the NPL, but it's not enough games in my opinion. So let's see if more kids go over. And again, Project Orlando, I've upgraded, got him some bigger goals here. He's striking the ball very well. So if he can move over to Italy, I'll definitely go with him. Carla can stay at home in Australia. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I don't want him to be on his own, so I'll go with him. We'll get a nice apartment, and I'll live the good life. Yeah, you can come over as well if you want. Whoever's kid kind of makes it, we can just do that one, and then that's it.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, we'll leave it there for today. Thank you all for tuning in. Stef, all the best for your week.
Yeah.
And
Hanoi Derby
speak next week.
And you too. You got the Big Blue. So
Big Blue. Big games for the boys.
Game. Yeah, massive. That's a big one. Hopefully that's a big crowd. Juan Mata in town. I don't know, we just said goodbye, but what about Juan Mata talking about the restaurants? Fucking hell.
He's a legend.
He knows quality.
I got a big list of Melbourne restaurants, and
maybe we can do that next time.
Yeah, every single one that he was saying, it was like, yeah, that's a great spot. It's a great spot. So it's just a shame about the who was interviewing him, but that's all right.
Yeah, I agree. Pumpers FC. Anyway, all good.
Such is life.
I'll speak to you later. Good luck. I'll be tuning in, and thanks everyone for listening.
Thank you.